Okay, so this particular resume, as you guys may be aware, anytime I see all this sort of stuff at the top, it makes me a little nervous, and because it does smack of, and this is very common for corporate related resumes to have this sort of information. This person, by the way, looks like a very good attorney. I can just tell from looking at the resume, and but there's some things that should be done. And here we go. We start to look at their you start looking at their resume and the stuff that they've done. To see here, this looks like a new resume. What I like about this, by the way, what this person did here is this person talked about their law firm experience. They just say that they practice in four firms. They don't talk about all of them. And then they talk about their experience, which looks to me like this person is basically a IP attorney, and that's what they did in this position. I actually like what they did here because many times if you list four or five firms, it just looks like you're a job hopper. This person's not a job hopper, but because they've the four firms in 12 years, they were at a firm probably every 3 years, and they put down one good firm, really good firm that they were at, and so that's good. I like that. I would, in terms of this is pretty good too as well. Their experience, the way they put this down and the dates, so that's good. I like that. But I think almost that everything potentially could stop here. I don't know that all this experience and stuff at the top here is necessary. I don't think that this is, and this is my style of resumes, but a lot of times when you start putting all this stuff in, it looks quite desperate to some extent. So I would recommend probably putting all this stuff closer in here. Then I would probably take, if you're eligible for in-house counsel registration in Massachusetts, you should make sure that most people that have bars in different states are eligible to be in-house counsel in most states. That's not something you really need to worry about. And so I think that also you have to be careful about putting that in places if you're applying in places other than. And then your education should always go at the end of your resume like this, when you're more than 5 years out of school. And then I don't know that you need to say highlights. These are obviously highlights, so you don't need to do that. Let me just do that a different way. Yeah, but I don't know if you don't necessarily need to say those are highlights. You just do it that way. And then, but if you look at this resume, it looks like there's a lot of things, there's a lot of very good things about it. I don't think you need to, a lot of times people say the first ever and that sort of thing. I don't know if you need to do that or who you were recruited by. I would just say in-house counsel for a lot of times, and this is something that very high achievement people do. They always try to say I'm the first or the best or and that sort of thing. So I would hope you would report to the CEO and attend board meetings. I don't know that you need to put that on there. And it could be a small company, no one knows. So this is a good resume. I think the only question here is if you would want to be, if, and you don't say, I would just say law firm experience. When you say words like foundational experience, like people start assuming that you're putting words in their mouth. So you just want to be very direct about that. I don't know that company-wide employee resource and networking group for women, I guess that's okay, but I like a lot of times just focusing on kind of the business aspects of what you're doing, and all this is very good the way this is done here. So I like this resume a lot. I think if you clean up these things,